everybody, welcome back to the Grindhouse. It's me, Groovy Fox, and today we're talking to you about something a little bit different, because I've never done an animated film review here on the channel yet. But today, we're going to change that. Today, we're giving you a quick review for Netflix's The Mitchells versus the Machines. Now, this film is actually brought to you by producers Phil Miller and Chris Lord. They're actually some of the creative minds behind the Cloudy with a Chance of Meatball films, and also the amazing Into the Spider-Verse film, as well as having writers and directors Jeff Rowe and Mike Rianda, who worked on Gravity Falls, which I'm not too familiar with, but people tell me that I would probably enjoy it. Now, the premise of this film is pretty much the daughter Katie is growing up and wants to become a film director. She wants to go to film school and finally connect to people like her, because she doesn't understand her family, or she feels like her family doesn't quite understand her. But as the family decides to take Katie on one last road trip to drop her off at college in California, they get caught in the middle of the impending robot apocalypse caused by a malevolent AI, which is taking control of connected devices in a bid to take over the world. Now, the cast of this film is great. It actually has Abby Jacobson as the voice of the daughter Katie, who is our main character. It has the voice of Danny McBride as Rick, the father, who is more of a hands-on anti-technology Ron Swanson kind of character. It has Maya Rudolph as the voice of Linda, the put-upon loving first-grade teacher mother, and then also has the voice of Mike Rianda as Aaron, the younger brother who is obsessed with dinosaurs. Mike Rianda, of course, doing double duty here, or triple duty, as one of the writers and directors of the film as well. It also stars Eric Andre as a media mogul. It stars Olivia Colman as the voice of the malevolent AI, and Fred Armisen as one of the sentient robot characters, as well as small roles for Conan O'Brien as well. This movie came out of nowhere, right? It's been on Netflix for over 30 days, and I haven't really heard anybody talking about it. But what actually got me to ironically watch the movie is the fact that I saw a video on Facebook talking about how the dog in this film, the pug Monchi, is actually voiced by internet celebrity dog Doug the Pug, which I thought was just a genius stroke. Now, beyond the cast of this film, I just adore this movie. There's just something about the animation in this movie that is just so full of color, and the sense of humor in this film is just so hyperactive, with so many little things popping off that aren't really even written into the film. Like, they'll just be talking about something that they go down the road, and just kind of like a hyperactive child on their phone with ADHD, you're starting to see like little kind of cartoons that coincide with the things that they're talking about in a 2D style, on top of the 3D animation in the movie, which I guess comes off across almost as like phone filters and effects and stuff like that, which was just great. There's just so much going on in this film. It has this kind of hyperactive sense of humor, which is just full throttle, down to the floor, pretty much from start to finish in this film. This film is 2 hours long. This is a 2-hour animated film, and I enjoyed every minute of it. I can't really think of anything negative to say about this movie. Even the pacing of this film, once it starts going, it just keeps going. And I think one of the things that I love about the sense of humor in this film is that it's very touching and very relatable and very heartfelt, but at the same time, there are certain touches of darkness sprinkled out here and there, like when the machines cut off access to the humans' Wi-Fi, and immediately people are rioting in the streets talking about making sacrifices to the router to appease it, or when they go to the mall to find Wi-Fi to actually upload the kill switch virus to the network. But then it turns out that one of the stores in the mall is full of Furbies that have also been fitted with the PAL chip, which actually gives them access to the malevolent AI, or vice versa. And then you see the Furbies still speaking in Furbish, but the subtitles for the Furbish are "The Twilight of the Humans has begun. Now begins the dark harvest," or when they start fighting them off, when the giant Furby comes out and it's like, "I shall avenge my fallen children." There's just something hilarious about it. Not only that, but Katie, as an aspiring filmmaker, they keep cutting back to little snippets of her homemade movies that she's made throughout the year as parts of running gags, as like a series of films that she made called Dog Cop, which is pretty much just her holding the dog up in front of a green screen and wiggling it around and doing their own voiceovers for it. It's just absolutely hilarious. And there's just so much to love about this movie, even just in terms of animation. There's just all these colors and so many different things popping off. Like, the animation itself is still 3D animated, but there is a slight amount of cell shading, I do believe, which still gives the dark outline that you would have in maybe like a more traditionally animated film. So at times, the three-dimensional character models almost look like paintings to me. Just, I don't know what it was. It was just beautiful. I actually liked this a lot more than I liked Into the Spider-Verse. And one of the other things that this movie does is, while it does have all this color and this energy that's coming at you nonstop, unlike Into the Spider-Verse, it didn't use that kind of disjointed frame rate that they used to try to make the animation seem like maybe a little bit more comic booky, which actually really turned me off. This movie is just so heartfelt and cute and easy to relate to, while at the same time kind of being a little bit batshit crazy, but in a beautiful, family-friendly kind of way. I have to say, if I were to give this film a star rating out of 10, I would say this is a 9 out of 10 star film for me. I like this more than Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I like this more than Into the Spider-Verse. I like this more than anything I've seen Pixar pump out in the last 10 years. Now, I assume that this film was made with the intention to put it into theaters, but when I was checking into it, it turns out that really from the get-go, this movie was intended for Netflix, which is also kind of crazy to me because this movie is so big and colorful and fast-paced and over the top that I would have loved to see this in theaters. This is actually one of my favorite films that I've seen in 2021 so far, and I watch just about everything that comes out on Netflix, Amazon, all those streaming services, all that crap. This is definitely one of my favorite things that I've seen this year. Please, definitely, if you have Netflix, go check this film out. I'm sure you're going to adore it. Maybe not as much as I do, but if you do watch it, make sure to come back, hit up the comment section, tell me what you think. I really like this movie, and I'm not hearing anyone talk about it. I thought this movie was just fantastic. I usually don't cover family-friendly cartoon films on my channel, but I saw this movie and I just wanted to talk about it. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I do. If you don't, hey, also again, come on back here and just let me know. Tell me to shut up. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you next time. Stay safe, stay classy, stay groovy, people. We're outie.